Hey, what up? It's Brad with Home Love Construction, and in this video, we're going to be talking about how to grow a contracting business. In Home Love Construction, we nearly doubled in size last year, and I've been studying growing businesses for the past few years, and so I really want to start sharing this content with you. So in this video, we're going to hit the mindset behind growing a services business, what you need to be thinking about as you're attempting to grow your service business. We're going to be hitting how to increase demand for your services, how to actually get more customers in the door, asking for your services, calling you on the phone, messaging you on Facebook, sending you emails, all that, just more leads in general. We're going to be hitting how to spend your limiting advertising dollars. We're a small company. We have limited advertising dollars. I know you likely are as well. So that's super important to keep it under budget. We're also going to be hitting how to serve more customers without that feeling of overwhelm that a lot of small businesses get when they start bringing on more people and doing more jobs. It can get crazy. And then finally, we're going to be hitting the number one. This is a mind-blowing hack. It's really kind of like an industry secret on how to increase your revenue within a year between 50 and 150%. So I'm super pumped to get into this. Now, who is this for? This is primarily for business owners who own a business that likely does less than $500,000 a year in revenue. Still, I think between $500,000 and $1 million in revenue, you're still going to get great value out of this. And even I think a bigger business is still going to really be able to crush it by following these steps that I'm going to lay out and just reminding themselves of how they got to where they are. That's really important to keep in mind how you got to where you are, because continuing to do that is going to take you from where you are to the next step to where you want to go. So specifically, what type of businesses is this for? This is for physical service businesses. If you are a general contractor, if you're a tile contractor, if you're even like say a cleaning service, if you are a pool service, a handyman, any type of electrical contractor, plumbing, any type of physical service where there are people working and accomplishing things that customers need done, this is really going to help you to blow up your business. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so point number one, the mindset behind growing a services business. It's very appropriate that we just grab Starbucks, because if you think about what Starbucks does well, is that they produce a high volume of a high quality content, a high quality product. So they provide a lot of value to their customers, and they do it by just providing more value than anybody else. Their value is their convenience. They're located everywhere. They perform a very uniform task. They give a very uniform product. You always know what you're going to get, which, as much as people say they like variety, they respond better to consistency. Another hack, that's a totally separate video topic. But as a services business, someone that's providing physical services like a contractor, you have to see yourself as what your business really is, and that is a utility. That has been the number one epiphany that I've had since coming into Home Love Construction, is that being a contractor is a utility. You are needed. You are a vital piece of the economy. So your business is a vital part of the economy, okay? So that's the first thing to shift in your mindset. You can't be, for the next 20 to 30 years, until robotics really catches up, the robots aren't ready to take over these jobs. So until then, people have to continue to do these jobs. And as this is again another video, as the labor pool continues to shrink, demand is actually going to increase for services-based industries. Again, separate topic. But the mindset that you have to have is that you are a permanent fixture in the economy, and there's a set amount of demand for the services you provide. So you need to grow your share of the pie. And the way you do that is by having an output mindset. So there's a great book about this called The Goal. My buddy Matt Klein recommended this to me, and I was very skeptical about the book. It's about a plant manager who basically has to figure out how to save his plant from being shut down by making it more efficient. Now, how does that apply to somebody who installs tile, for example? Well, the thing that he had to do is he just had to increase output of his plant, and then it made more money, right? So it makes sense, right? Pretty logical. You need to do the same thing as a contractor. You need to increase your output. So there's basically a fixed rate at which things can be billed in the contractor sphere. Tile pays a certain amount of square foot. There's some wiggle room always, but there's a certain payment for a square foot that's industry standard. There's a certain amount you get for installing a door. It's industry standard. Since that variable can't really be changed too much, not too materially, unless you're talking crazy brand stuff, you have to go on the output angle. So that needs to be your mindset. Your mindset needs to be, how can I provide more of my valuable services to my customers? And that is the mindset behind growing your contracting business output. Okay, so keeping in mind that you're viewing your service company as a utility, right? We talked about that, you're a utility. The way that you increase the demand for utility is not actually through increasing demand. It's a bit of a misnomer, it's a little clickbait in me, I apologize. But when you talk about growing your share of the pie as a utility company, you don't do that by actually drumming up new customers. You find customers who are already looking for you and you just serve them. That's actually the trick. That's actually all you have to do. It's easier than finding new customers. Frankly, it's a layup. It should be a layup. And the reason I say it's a layup is because the competition is doing so little. For example, in the remodeling space, the level of marketing that I see in the Tampa Bay area is next to nothing. It's basically nothing. If I do any marketing at all, I'm like right now, I'm inundated with leads. It becomes more than I can even handle, and then I have to consider how I'm gonna then repurpose those leads, or how I'm gonna artfully tell people that I can't help them, but still keep them as, you know, contacts for later on to later market to. So the reason I wanted to shoot this section of the video in front of Tibbetts is because I think that Tibbetts Lumber Company is ripe for disintermediation, or to have basically their business taken from them. And I love Tibbetts. We buy a lot of wood from them. I love them. They run a great business. But what they don't do, from what I've seen, is market. The market comes to them because they have a great utility, they build trusses, and they sell lumber that people in this area need to build shit, right? So they need the lumber, they know Tibbetts has it, just because the Good Old Boy Network knows that they're here. But if someone were to establish a new lumber company that built trusses, let's say they added one little feature, charged $5 more for it per truss, and then they market it to homeowners, and homeowners say, oh, I want a, you know, let's say they call it Schmibbets. Oh, I want a Schmibbets truss because I want this safety feature that's gonna make my roof stronger and last longer, or some whatever. That little bit of marketing, the owners of Tibbetts would be shocked at how easily their market can be taken away from them because they don't market. That's what happens when you're a utility. If you're a utility, it can be great, but if you're not preserving your business for the long term and getting brand awareness, that's why people like, you know, companies like Duke Energy advertise so much, even though they're a utility, right? It's like, you need your energy, where else are you gonna go? They want to be that brand because they understand, Duke Energy does a great job of this. They understand that as a utility, your market share can be taken from you like that. So that's, you as a small business owner, you can cut into that market share so easily. You can have more leads than you even know what to do with, just by doing that little bit of marketing. And that can be, you know, we'll go into different videos about how to market a small business, but just a little bit, just getting into a networking group, just running 1 or 2 Facebook ads effectively will give you more leads than you know what to do with. That will effectively increase demand for your products, and you will be set. As a small business, as a small services business, you're probably working on limited cash flow. I know we certainly are. So every ad dollar that you spend has to get stretched as far as you can possibly get it to. So that means you have to be very selective in where you're spending your ad dollars. So the reason I'm sitting on this bus stop bench with this lovely advertisement on the back of it is not, I don't want to pick on, you know, these realtors. From what I understand, they crush it. They must be killing it. It's amazing. But in my opinion, in February, actually no, we're in March now. In March of 2019, bus stop signage would not be a great way to spend your limiting advertising budget. I understand some people would disagree with that. That's fine. It's one man's opinion. This is my video after all. But the best place that I've seen in spending advertising dollars is in 2 places. One is content marketing, content production. That is targeted towards long-term brand building, putting out videos like this that bring value to people. I'm paying someone to film me right now. I'm gonna pay for the post-production, and then potentially if this video does well, put it in an ad or something like that. The other would be targeted Facebook advertisements. So you shoot a video, you pay someone to shoot it, or you shoot it yourself alternatively. You post it via Facebook's ad manager into people's feeds so that they see that targeted video, and you can figure out who exactly wants to see that video, and you can only the people who want to see it will see it. It's incredible. It's the best ad product in marketing. It's literally the best. The other kind of like sleeper strategy here is actually networking, face-to-face networking and referrals. Now, the issue with referrals and face-to-face networking is that you don't have as much control over your number of leads. With Facebook ad marketing, you can control your ad spend so that if you get inundated with leads, you can turn it off. You can't turn off word of mouth, so you can't control that. Keep that in mind. Now, we'll hit that more in the next point, which is how to not get inundated. But for right now, just focus on the getting leads aspect and think about not wasting your money. You need to be very scrupulous in how you spend your ad dollars early on, because it will materially affect your business later on. You have to get the most out of your ad spend. Right now, in March of 2019, Facebook targeted ads are by far the best way to spend your money, in addition to in-person business development. Yep. From getting your ad strategy on point, getting that influx of leads that a small business really needs to grow, the next step is complete pandemonium, right? Complete shit show. Then you have more leads than you know what to do with. People get mad at you because they're taking too long. Every small business owner is probably thinking about that reality. Even as I'm speaking right now, it's probably bringing up some if you've done that before, it's probably bringing up some post-traumatic stress disorder inside your guts, right? So how do we avoid that? How do we keep that lead base growing and actually grow our business without that feeling of inundation and making people mad and not fulfilling your word? Most business people I meet, their number one priority is to just do what they say they're gonna do. I love that about business people, by the way. Total, complete tangent, not related to the video. If you're a business person, you probably are very concerned with doing what you say you're gonna do, following through, making sure your customers are satisfied, right? So with that in mind, the way that you continue to be able to do that, but grow your customer base at the same time, because look, we're all in this to make a great living and to make a great life for ourselves. That's apparently the hardest word to say in the English language for me today. We're in this to make a great life for ourselves, right? So in order to do that, we have to grow and we have to be able to serve more customers. We have to grow our customer base. So the nitty gritty, how do you actually do it? Well, it's quite simple actually. You just say no, right? That seems, it's like, what do you mean you say no? You just say no. If a job is going to be complicated, time consuming from the back end of actually running it and managing it, you don't have to take it. That's the beautiful thing about bringing in more leads, is you can then be selective in which jobs you take. You can figure out which jobs you can just nail, and you just crush them in like a week. You make what you would have made in 4 weeks on a different job in profit in that 1 week. You don't have to do everything. It's not your responsibility to serve anyone if you haven't already committed to it. And that's the other thing, is be judicious in what you commit to. Like I said before, you don't have to commit to everything. And then when you do commit to things, if you're committing to more and more, take a moment to set your customers' expectations about the timeline that they can expect to their job to be completed in. If it's going to take you 8 weeks to get to their job, don't tell them 4, tell them 10. I mean, really, or you can tell them 8. You don't have to like exaggerate it. I like to build myself in a cushion, so I tend to overestimate, because I'm not necessarily a fan of the principle of under promise and over deliver, although I do think that can be highly effective. I like to really give a realistic expectation, and even if I think something could be done or started in 8 weeks rather, I will sometimes say 10, just to allow for that oh shit factor, the factor of the unknown. And I would really encourage you to do the same thing. So those really are, I know that's super simple, and maybe you were expecting some crazy, very complicated system for managing leads, and those are great, and we're about to start implementing that. So we will make videos about CRMs, and we will nail that shit. We will get it on lock. But really, to start, it's very simple. It's saying no to jobs that you know, based on your experience, are not gonna be great for you. And then also giving your customers a realistic timeline, not only on when their job could be started, but when you're gonna get around to bidding their job. That's an issue that we're running into, is it's hard to get bids out. And so I tell my customers it's gonna be a week before they hear from me on the bid, because I'm just backed up. And then you can schedule yourself farther out. And the fear in a lot of people is that you're gonna schedule a bid for, you're gonna try to schedule somebody in 2 weeks to bid their bathroom remodel, right? And they're gonna be like, 2 weeks? You can't get in here in 2 weeks. You must not want the job. Bye. That will happen. That has happened to us. They're like, you can't get out here for a week? Never mind, I want it done sooner. I want it to start tomorrow. And that's fine, because you know what? The person's probably not gonna get their bathroom to start tomorrow anyways. And a lot of those people wind up calling back because we're polite, we're understanding, we're like, okay, that's fine. We can't get to it for a week, so you're gonna have to call somebody else, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with, if your interest and someone else's interests and goals do not line up perfectly, you don't have to do it. That's a win-win or no deal frame of mind. So from there, let's swoosh into the office for our last segment on the #1 hack. I love this. This gets me I'm getting excited just thinking about talking about it. The hack that you can use, the industry secret to grow your contracting business literally from either 50% up to 150% or more in a single year. Let's get in there. Okay, so the hack that really can help a small business take that leap into a medium-sized business, or really help you do something crazy like double your revenue in a year like we did last year, is what I have in my hand right here. And this is a bid request from a public purchasing agency. Wherever you are located, whether you're in Florida, Georgia, Alaska, Hawaii, there are government agencies that are in dire need of contractors of any type of license, whether that's electrical, plumbing, general contractor, even if you're a janitorial contractor. There are contracts that are out there where government agencies are looking for your trade to complete some sort of work for them on some publicly maintained building or area or something like that. So last year, Home Love Construction started bidding on these types of jobs, and we've done 5 of them in the last year, and they were approximately 30% of last year's revenue. So if you consider that we almost doubled our revenue last year, it was probably, that public work alone was probably 75% of our growth in last year. Let that sink in. 75% of our increase in revenue was just opening ourselves up to leads that were already out there. Now, when there's a little bit of baggage that goes along with these leads. Let me explain. For most public agencies, You do not get paid for the work completed in the contract until you are fully complete, including the punch list. For a lot of smaller contractors, that's just a deal breaker. They need a huge deposit up front, something like that. The way that you can get around it, and something that helped us to get around it, is getting a cash line of credit that you can write checks against from your bank. Most banks will do this. If you show them your revenues from past years, based on your cash flow, they will assign you a certain percentage of your revenue that they will loan you. It's basically a cash account. You can write a check from it. You can pay your payroll with that loan, and you can front the costs of completing whatever work you're doing and wait to be paid. Now, because there are so few people doing this, some of these jobs that we're doing, we are the only bidder. Now, how would that affect you if you could do a job and you were the only contractor bidding on that job? You think you could make a little bit more than your normal margin? You think you could maybe double your normal margin on an average job? I think that's totally realistic. And I would really encourage you to seek out whatever local agency is searching for bids from whatever contracting service you offer. Seek those out from your local municipalities. Now, the way you do this is you just need to Google, say you're looking for City of St. Petersburg. You're gonna Google City of St. Petersburg Purchasing Department. And then that will take you through whatever link you need to find in order to get to where they're sending out their bid requests. They might have them on some online storage thing. It might be pushed through a third party. But I guarantee you that any municipality, no matter, even if it's just a town, like a town of something, they're putting out bids. They're in need of contractors to complete that work. And they are desperate for it. They need it. Most of these things go unbid. So you definitely need to consider that. You need to be looking at these if you're interested in growing your business. Okay, so Mom was standing behind the camera, being distracting as hell. I'm trying to focus here, but she actually brought up a great point. Another way to find these purchasing agencies, she's out here going like this. Another way to find these purchasing agencies is actually through reverse trade shows. That is a great point. Mom, love you, you're very smart, that's a great point. So reverse trade shows are where purchasing departments will put on the reverse of a normal trade show, that's where the name comes from, and they will set up booths and they will basically lay out their bidding system and how they solicit their bids from contractors. And you can go as a contractor. Actually, I think we're actually going to one, in April? Sometime in the near future. So even though we're already up on this, we're looking to even expand our public contract pipeline. So we're going to a reverse trade show to find out where we are missing the mark and how we can better acquire these public contracts. So that is the hack to grow your business potentially 100% or more in the coming year. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you're not getting value out of this video, you watch it again, because there are some serious, like amazing nuggets in this video that will truly help you. I really believe this will, if you apply the things that I talked about, you will grow your business next year. It is inevitable. So if you achieve success with this, I really would like to hear from you. Please hit me up. You can message me, you can email me, our email is everywhere. You can call us at our office and just be like, hey, thanks for the video, I really appreciate it. I would love to hear from you. In addition to that, if you would please consider liking our Facebook page and liking a video on our Facebook page, and even drop a comment in there if you feel so inclined, that would help us out a ton. It really helps us to grow, and the more that we grow and the more wherewithal we have, the more videographers we can hire, the more content we can put out like this. It frees me up more as we can hire on more infrastructure and staff and really build out our operation here, and we can show you more of what we do. That's the bottom line. The only reason you should help us is because it's going to help you. This is the first of many videos that I'm going to be doing on these subjects. So if you enjoyed it, like the page, support us, help us grow our base, because it's going to help us grow our customer base as well, more revenue, you know. Copy exactly what we're doing. Just watch what we're doing and do the same thing. It's going to work, I promise. And if it doesn't work, I'll put out a video on it. If it does work, I'll put out a video on it. I'll give you both sides. So I look forward to talking to you again very soon. Thanks for watching.